This is Low Growl, the deepest voice in ASMR, and I'd like to give a shout out to my man Peppered ASMR. He reached out to me to do a collaboration. He's been showing a whole lot of love. You know, he's giving me shout outs on his channel and things, and it's just been good times. It's been good times. We had some conversations. It went really well. He's a really good dude, and we decided to do a podcast style interview, which is based upon mental health and the lies we tell ourselves that kind of psych us out from reaching our full potential. So watch the video. Give me at least 10 minutes, y'all. Watch for 10 minutes, and let us know in the comments if you gained anything from it. Hopefully you get some motivation, you get some insight, you get a new perspective that'll help you to push through the lies that you may be telling yourself that may be hindering you from reaching your fullest potential. Appreciate you. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments.
All right. Well, welcome to a special episode. This one is a little bit different, but in a really good way. I am first joined here by Low Growl ASMR. Hello, Low Growl.
Hey there, brother.
All right. If you didn't realize, he's called Low Growl because he's got a low growl. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Low Growl.
Well, Low Growl ASMR. I started the channel about 6 years ago, and with most people that have done content, it's a hit and miss thing. Sometimes, you're all motivated in the beginning, and then the results don't come. And
I understand.
Man. But just a little bit more background about myself. I used to be a teacher in middle school. I was did business teaching for about 4 years.
Oh, wow.
But my main background has been in business management, warehousing, and manufacturing, things like that. I was a youth pastor for quite a few years, and
Nice.
It kind of just bled over into other areas of my life. I'm not ashamed about mentioning my faith on my channel. I do it, but it is primarily ASMR, so I'm not over the top with it, but I'm definitely not ashamed of it.
Yeah, and, amen. I think that's important. I do the same thing, and it's just being authentic. Being authentic. And if you're authentic, the true you is always gonna show itself. So that's a good thing. Sorry. Sorry about that. I cut you off a little bit. You can go right back ahead.
Man, it's cool. I am married, father of 4. Married my high school sweetheart. We've been together 22 years.
Amen.
Got married pretty young, but I think it was the right thing to do. I felt like I found my good thing, man, and I stuck with her, and we have a great family, and I'm very blessed in that regard. You got a lot of red pill content and stuff out there now where it's like, times have changed and people frown on marriage a lot. They don't really see the purpose in it. And, but again, I think just the way the world is now, it's more transactional. It's not about the duty and commitment. It's just kind of like, what can I get from you? What do you expect from me? So, I mean, that's just a sign of the times we live in, but I don't even go down that rabbit hole too much, but I'm really a family man. I enjoy playing video games. I've done quite a few video game collection videos on my channel.
Nice. What's your video game of choice?
Oh man, it depends on what system you're talking about. If it's PlayStation, Kratos, God of War, Metal Gear Solid. It's some things like I don't have a PlayStation, but I've borrowed people's systems just so I can play certain games and stuff like that. Right now I'm playing Doom, the Dark Ages. It's my first Doom game I've ever played, but I've been enjoying that thoroughly. As far as family time, we love Mario games, so Mario Party and Mario Kart, and I'm a big Zelda fan, Metroid.
So you have a Wii in your house, don't you?
I had a Wii U.
Wii U,
Yeah, I had the Wii U, which was kind of a flop, but it had some decent stuff. But now I got the Switch.
Okay.
So, yeah,
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And it seems like we have a lot of similarities. So I raised 5 kids. We've been married.
Mhm.
My wife and I've been married for 24 years. I had to do
Mhm.
the count, do a little quick count right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24 years. And so, yeah, we got a lot of parallels,
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's a
that's
good thing. And,
that's
and I
so
think a lot of these experiences that we have, our age and all of that, help us
mhm.
a little bit in talking about something really important tonight. Um,
Mhm.
as we were sharing, and first and foremost, it's an honor once again to have you on. Well, I can't say on my program because it's our program, and it's going on both of our channels.
Yeah.
So but
Okay.
being here together, I really think you're an up and comer. Even though you've been in the game longer than I've been in the game, but this YouTube algorithm, we were already talking about that and
Yeah.
crying about this algorithm and all that. So,
Yeah, man.
but we're both men of faith and believe in God's timing. So,
Mhm.
it's just that season right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
behold it.
Mhm.
But with that being said, with that experience also gives us a little bit of depth in the conversation we're going to have tonight. A little bit, your background
Absolutely.
and as a teacher, and I've been a teacher also. Mental health awareness is this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's almost the end of the month. And normally I do a video, and we got to talking, and I said, you know what? Why don't we get together and talk about something important to be able to bless some people?
Mhm.
And we want to talk about tonight about some of the lies that we tell ourselves. Um, you ever lie to yourself?
Oh man, daily.
He said daily. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's man, that's such a deep uh such a deep topic because it's always like from the time you get up, you're wrestling with your own thoughts and the comparison trap and
Mhm.
just seeing how you measure up to people and like
Yeah.
it's like when you get out of high school, for a long time you're comparing yourself to them. You're like say your reunion comes up and you want to know about like when you meet up with people again, you want to have something to show to display your success level and all these different things, and it really stops your growth. It really does. It really like stymies what where you're headed. It has your attention all over the place, and
Mm.
it's so many different types of lies that
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just glad I've been able to overcome them. It's like I battle them, but
Mhm.
they don't have the same effect on me now that they used to have when I was younger.
Let me ask you a question. How did you grow up? What was your family dynamics growing up?
Okay,
What
so
did your household look like?
yeah, well, I grew up downtown Newport News here in Virginia. I had my mom and my dad, but my dad, he was there, but he wasn't there. He allowed, some addictions to get in the way. They came up from Alabama, all the way at the bottom, that small little panhandle town called Fairhope.
Mm.
And they came up here and they didn't know anybody. He worked and everything. I was born here, and with his addictions and things like that, man, it's just like mismanagement of money,
Mm.
drinking,
Yeah.
drugs, gambling, and it really just it made life hard. Like I remember, like yesterday, how many times our water was turned off or our
Wow.
power was
Yeah.
off, and my mom trying to do everything to make up what he didn't contribute. Then I had two older brothers that were like running the street, and it was like a big generational gap. It was six of us all together,
Mhm.
but my two oldest brothers, they were like at least 5 or 6 years older than us, and then you had the second group, but they were out running the street, selling and things like that,
Mhm.
and you know, they were trying to help take care of the bills. Eventually, one of my brothers, the streets caught up with him, and he was killed
Wow. Sorry
right
to hear that.
downtown. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But when it happened, I was a senior in high school, and
Hmm.
it was devastating. But at the same time, I was just like, you get what, like, that's the environment he put himself in. You know,
Yeah.
he,
Yeah.
whatever, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, he felt like that's the life he needed to lead. And I came up kind of the opposite. Like, I saw what he was doing, saw
Right.
what they were doing, but they
Mhm.
actually pushed me towards not doing it. So that was a blessing.
Right.
And then I found my place in a church that my mama brought us to one day, and I got really involved, and it really kept me from a lot of things. But it was a lot of love in my house, man. It's funny how it seems like when you don't have much, all you
Yeah.
have is the love to help hold things together. So
Sure. Sure.
even when we didn't have, we were always having good laughs, and
Yeah.
we
That's
didn't
right.
have much, but it just was peaceful. And now, given whenever my dad wasn't around, it was more peaceful
Right.
because, when you have those addictions and you wrestling with those vices, he didn't have any peace really, unless he had some money in his pocket and a beer in his hand.
Right.
So
Right.
often he was angry and complaining and just yelling and things. And we would just go outside and play.
Right.
I'm telling you, me and my bros, you remember Muppet Babies?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We had imaginations on that level. Like we had to zone out and just go into wherever we were because,
Yes.
you know, we didn't have, like, we didn't go to Busch Gardens and do all those different type of things that everybody else seemed to be doing.
Right.
I didn't go to Busch Gardens until I worked there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
it was rough. It was rough, and it was embarrassing sometimes,
Hmm.
but the family unit was strong. And,
Hmm.
and this story isn't necessarily unique to me or anything, but it wasn't
No,
the
I mean,
love.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the love in my family, it made things a lot more easy to deal with, I guess.
Right.
Oftentimes it's like the love and relationship with God, it overshadowed the things that could have really messed us up,
Sure.
and taken us
Yeah.
down a bitter path. But, I got involved in things, and, I just made sure I put myself around decent people, because I
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
like, look, man, it's like you kind of, I heard the saying later on in life, but it's kind of like you are the sum of the people you hang around or something like that.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I just, I don't know, man. It's like God made the biggest difference in my life when I got into church, and I just had this unusual hunger to
Hmm.
read my Bible and stuff. And even when I look at my kids now, I used to get a little bit discouraged because I'm like, man, when I was your age, I was reading my Bible, I was doing A, B, and C. But I'm like, I really think it was like I was an exception to the rule
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get serious about God at the age of 12 and not
Oh,
let go,
wow.
not fall
Wow.
back out there. And so I
Amen.
just told myself, I was like, you know what? They'll have their moment in God's time, and they'll have their moment. But I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
try to do my best to contribute to their spiritual awareness and let them know that, look, my faith can't carry you. Your mom's faith can't carry you. You have to get to know God
Right.
for yourself.
Right.
But
Well, let me ask you this: with the broken households, I know for myself, coming from, like you said, the story is not a unique story.
mhm,
Your father was there, but wasn't as active as you'd like him to have been,
mhm,
because of addiction, etc.
yeah,
My father and my mother, he were there for a while, and then they separated, they divorced, and
mhm,
then we had to go. We were kind of bounced back and forth a little bit from both of them.
yeah,
Um, but majority of the time we stayed with our mom, other than a few years we were with dad for a little bit. Um, all of those things changed. I know for myself, I was one of those. I'm going to break this curse now. I
mhm,
see the patterns. My grandfather, my father, my uncle, they were very loose out there on the street. I'll just keep it
mhm,
like that. Papa was Rolling Stone,
yeah,
and the trauma of that, affected not only myself but all of my siblings, and also it formed my will to to truthfully just decide I'm not doing the same stuff.
mhm,
For some people, they see that negative pattern and they repeat it. For me, it was like I was repelled by it. I can't. I won't. I refuse to pass this
Mm,
down to mine. And so, since we're talking about lies that we believed, um, that trauma that comes from our households and all of that, that begins to affect us. uh, even in adulthood.
mm,
It's not like something we just shake because we grew up.
mm,
There's some times I still feel like I'm that young boy yearning for dad's attention. Even
yeah,
today as a grown man, and my dad has passed, is not even with us any longer.
mm,
But there's still some unresolved things in my heart, um, or wishes probably is more
mm,
what it is. I wish we could had more time to repair and to do, and and all of that. So as we're talking about these lies, I just want to kind of leave that in the backdrop, because a lot
yeah,
of these lies stem from our childhood, our upbringing, the influences that we have in our life, and the voices that we allow into our heads, whether
mm,
it's a lie that we tell ourselves, or that we believe because of the peer pressure or this or that, um, or just experience beating us
mm,
down or whatever. And when we repeat the lie, just like anything, if you repeat it long enough,
yeah. Start to believe it.
you start to believe it. Absolutely.
Mm,
We've seen that happen in politics, haven't we?
mm-hmm.
We won't go there though. But anyway,
Yeah, man.
all right.
Like,
Let's jump into some of these lies. Lie number one: if I'm not doing something big, I'm not doing enough.
mm,
Let me lay that out just a little bit. Just yesterday, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were one of these type of people who um, had to dot every I, cross every T in order to make any type of decision. Always wants, almost kind of thinks of perfection within themselves. This idea, well, sometimes I won't even get started because it's so big, because I have to do everything right. Matter
mm,
of fact, there's a lot of people that I have encouraged to start YouTube channels,
yeah.
and I see their ability. I see their unique abilities. I see their, the great potential.
Mm,
But what stops them is themselves.
yeah.
Uh, I, First of all, do you particularly have you ever dealt with this, and or and let's speak about it.
Yeah, yeah. Analysis paralysis, man. Perfectionism, waiting for just the right moment that never comes.
Wow.
Thinking that I have to have all the equipment. Like early on, I would always, when I was looking at other people's ASMR channels, I'm looking at the quality of the camera, and they got the
Yeah,
lights and all this nice stuff. And I just felt like, man,
I can't
I
do it
have
unless
to
I'm doing
hold
it
off.
like that.
Yeah, I need to hold off. I need to get a better camera. I need to do this and that.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and it would come in spurts where I would just be like, man, just do it. You just got to do it. So that's how I eventually started to record. But
Mhm.
in the beginning, man, I ain't want to show my face or anything. It was just like, I'm not the most handsome guy, or just little dumb things like that. It's like, man, it's about who you are.
Mhm.
Your audience will find you because they
Yeah.
vibe with you. They just like who you are as a person and stuff like that. And yeah, I was, man, in other areas of my life also, whether it's writing a book or
Mm.
getting involved in something, I would always try to wait for just the right moment and have all my ducks in a row. And then sometimes, even when I felt like things
Yeah.
were perfect, I would get started, then realize I don't even need all this stuff. I'm not even using half the stuff that I felt like I needed
Come
to
on.
purchase
Come on.
and get
Yes.
together.
Yes.
And it's just like, dang, I could have saved some money, could have saved some heartache and all these
Oh,
things.
I've got gear I can still return right now.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
gear
man.
just sitting around collecting dust I
Mhm.
never use. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seemed like around, I guess maybe around the time of COVID, when it when COVID was ending, it's like it may have been earlier, but hustle culture, man.
Mm.
All the videos you watch about successful YouTubers, everybody's trying to teach you and tell
Grind,
you,
grind,
hey, if
grind,
I used to
grind.
do this in
Yeah.
2023, this is how I do it. And they already got like 1 million something subscribers, and they talk about how they would redo things, and everybody knows the answers. And of course, that preys on your desire to succeed. So
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
this overload of information. And again, you're watching video after video because you don't want to miss any little tidbit that may give you the edge.
Yes.
And it does make you feel like, man, I'm not doing
Not
enough.
enough.
I go big or go home. If my work week is not a 60 to 80 hour work week, I'm not working hard enough.
Right.
I
Right.
shouldn't be sleeping. It just it makes you feel inadequate. You know what I mean? It makes
Yeah.
you really believe that if my life isn't extremely unbalanced and I'm going without rest, then I will never
You're
reach
not
my
doing it right.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't reach my goal. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's going to take hard work.
Mhm.
I don't know anybody that's been extremely successful that always had a balanced life. It's like there's going to be trade-offs, but it
Sure.
comes in seasons. It's like a life of perpetual imbalance is not good.
Well,
You
one of the things I like about a lot of the younger groups, gens, this, that, I don't know how
Mhm.
to, I don't know which ones are all
Yep.
everything, but
Yeah.
the younger ones is especially like my daughter. She's 21,
Mm.
and right now she's already like traveling and taking time off, and she's has a more balanced life. My son, same thing. He's in his late 20s, but they really believe in having a balanced life and making sure
Mm.
it's not all work with no play, because they've seen us. They've seen the other generations that have
Yeah.
gone before, and their whole life is consumed by work, by doing the big things, or
Mhm.
whatever, getting the next promotion or whatever it might be, even at the sacrifice sometimes of your own
Yeah.
health and your own love, your family, and et cetera, et cetera. So,
Mhm.
um, so yeah. I think it's hopefully something that, as we're bringing it to the attention, that we can be able to help somebody just by talking about
Mhm.
it. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, having the channel is it's therapeutic, talking and doing the ASMR and things like that. And I noticed a huge
Hmm.
difference when I didn't have this set and I just had to set up and break down and set up and break down. Man, I was ready to just like,
Yes.
I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. Like, am I trying to get involved in something that's just not meant for me to be involved with? And then, I gaining traction. And it's just, I feel like the younger generations, they have they're working smarter.
Right.
There's never been so many ways to earn and make a living and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and they're going after it hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas we were
Yeah.
just kind of bred to graduate high school, get your job, climb the
Hmm.
ladder, and that's like
Work
the
hard.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
work hard, and it's
And you're
like
gonna get paid. But
right.
and I think that's what they saw. They saw that that model was broken,
Hmm.
and they saw it broken in their parents and their grandparents. And then it's like, well, if the model's broken, we ain't gonna follow that same.
Right.
What
Right.
y'all doing.
Yeah.
And so so some of those things that have been really good. And I think I was sharing with you the other day when we were talking privately.
Hmm.
We all want our channels. We want millions of subscribers. We want our
Absolutely.
channels to blow up and to be big and all of that. And I remember just getting started. I've only been in the ASMR space now for like 2 years and some change now.
Mm.
And I remember when I got in, and I share with you, I've had past YouTube success before. Um, and I started all over in ASMR space,
Mm.
space that was completely saturated. But I found my uniqueness, and put that on display as I share it with you. Man,
Mhm.
that deep voice. Ooh, man, put that on display.
Yeah,
That's
man. That's and that's how it was, man. Well,
we gonna talk more about it. Let me
yeah, yeah.
finish this real quick.
Mhm,
And one of the things I saw was, in order to get big, I thought I had to find there was a secret pill, and we talked a little bit about this. What's
mhm,
the secret pill? Is it riding the wave of these current things? Is this getting a shout out from this
mhm.
person? Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? And all those little things, they all help.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
hopefully is going to help, and being able, some of my subscribers to be able to know who you are, some of your subscribers to be able to know who I am. So
Mhm.
all these things add to all of that. But then I stopped and I went and I looked at Articulate Design, Matt. I went to look at his channel and I looked at all his videos and I saw just him being consistent, just being consistent.
Mhm,
Plug, plug, consistent for years, you know.
mhm,
And for some people, their rise is quicker than others, for whatever reason, for whatever reason.
mhm.
Um, but I think one of the things is having the long game mindset.
Yeah.
If I'm in this, I'm in it. And I'm going to see it to fruition and see it and be successful.
Mhm,
And along the way, you grow. So when we're talking about, if I'm not doing it big, I'm not doing enough. Well, guess what? You're learning all along the way.
mhm.
Take a look at some of my videos now and take a look at some of my videos 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, so much different.
yeah,
So much different. I've
yeah.
changed. I've changed. I've learned. I've grown. I've had failures and success, so all of that. And now I'm taking that with me forward. So it's not, and still I don't feel, I've got a 70,000, subscriber channel, but I still feel like I should be in the millions,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm going to work it just like I always been working it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I can only control what I can control, and putting out the
Yeah.
best content I can put out. Whatever the algorithm does and all that. But
Mhm.
our job is to just stay consistent, and at some point, it's going to take. So you
Yeah.
on out there, you just don't grow weary. Well,
Mhm.
do for in due season
Yeah, yeah,
you shall
man.
reap if you faint not.
Mhm. And that's I think, like you were saying, it's intrinsically, it's almost like you just feel like, I know there's greatness in me. I know I'm meant for something bigger. And
Yes.
oftentimes that's what drives me on my channel, is because I'm like, I know there's nobody that sounds like me. There's other guys with deep voices and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but nobody sounds alike. So I'm just like, this is my key thing. And you told me on the phone the other day, it's like you was listening to me do a whisper video, one of the old videos. I was like, why is this dude whispering? Let's start talking, man. And
Man.
that's
But
it
you
was
know what?
doing,
That's a
but
perfect example of sometimes what God gives us, we can't even see ourselves.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes we minimize what God maximizes.
yeah,
We think less, and God is, man, he is giving you all this great gift,
mm-hmm,
and because we have it, it's just natural, and we deal with it every day, and
yeah,
it's just what it is.
yeah.
But
One night,
anyone else goes, when I said, whoa, this guy whispering, and what I tell you, I said, and people will wish they could have that resonance and that
mm-hmm,
voice that
yeah,
I can only try to manufacture by getting a little bit closer to the mic and trying to get it,
yeah,
but you just open your mouth and it comes forth.
yeah,
That's a gift,
man. It's
man.
it goes
Use
it goes right in line with the title of the lie. If I'm not doing something big, I'm not doing enough. So I
mhm,
would look at, like, JoJo's ASMR was the first channel I watched, and he was doing card tricks and whispering. And I
mhm,
was like, man, this guy has a huge following. And then I'll listen to other people that had big followings, and I'm like, well, the thing they have in common, they're all whispering. So I'm trying
mhm,
to imitate other people and do what
mm,
they're doing. And throwing all types of stuff at the wall, and nothing was sticking, man. And with what's happening recently, I mean, we'll get into it more, but again, I'm feeling like I need to be doing what these big people are doing instead of
Yeah.
just going at my pace. It's like they started where I'm at now,
Hold on. Let
but
me.
they
Let
went
me.
this.
I'm gonna pause you right there
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just get ready to pick right back up,
Okay.
because the next lie is everybody else is doing better than me. Go.
Mhm.
You were already there,
Yeah,
so might
yeah.
as well put it out there.
Right.
Everyone
So
else is doing better than me.
yeah, you see people doing sponsorships and all these different things, and then it's just like they just have this. It seems like they're doing so good. They just have this peace about them.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
having
yeah,
fun. They're vlogging their stuff. They got all this great equipment. They're getting so much love in the comments. You're the GOAT. You're the best. You're the best in the world. And I
yeah,
can't go to
yeah.
sleep unless I listen to you with all
Come
the
on.
stuff like
Yes,
that. I'm just
right,
like, you know, part of it is you want that validation that you're putting out something quality.
right.
To being the age we are, it's like I want some financial freedom and stability. I want to be debt free, and I want,
Hello, hello.
yeah. So it's like the purpose is to offer the ability for people to relax and go to sleep in the way it helped me, that made me want to do ASMR in the first place.
Hmm.
But when you see other people doing all these things well above and beyond just putting out ASMR, like these people are like iconic in the community, and it just opens your eyes to all these possibilities. And it's just like it's taking too long. I need to get there
Yeah, yeah.
faster. What can I do to get there faster? And again, you start comparing your looks. Then
Hmm.
it's like, well, I've seen some not so attractive people up here that's doing real great.
Hmm.
Well, is it the way I whisper? Can I maybe try to sound a little bit more like this person, because everybody's always complimenting how they whisper? Should I do some tapping? Should I do some mouth
Right,
sounds?
right,
It's like it'll have you trying to do things that you may not even be comfortable with doing,
right,
you
right,
know.
right.
But it's all just
No,
to
no, I think you're exactly right. We sometimes we can scroll our way into happiness or sadness. You can,
yeah, yeah,
you're looking at other people, and we forget that people only post, usually only posting the good stuff.
hmm,
Here's my new car. Here's the new equipment we got. Here's
yeah,
the new sponsorship, but nobody's posting. Here's my family's breaking down. My
yeah,
kids are mad at me, and my
hmm,
bank account. I'm overdrawn because I'm what nobody's posting all
hmm,
those type of things. So
right,
sometimes when we're
yeah,
playing that comparison game, it's not a true comparison, because we don't really see what's on the other side, and the
hmm,
grass isn't always greener on the other side.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and I think you said something earlier when we talking about your upbringing. We there were some times I didn't even know we were poor. I didn't
hmm,
know we were poor. I didn't know we were poor, and it sounded like you were in that same camp.
hmm,
You know, we because we had love, we had family around us, we had people. And
yeah,
so that made up for it in all of that. And later in life, somehow we get to thinking that it's money that makes you happy.
yeah,
Now, I am not going to lie. I like to be financially independent. I like to have that freedom. But I also recognize there was a time where money was flowing real well,
yeah,
and that was the time where, um, matter of fact, I don't mind sharing this. You asked me a question that if this channel blew up, would I change? Would I do what, like who I am, pretty much, in the sense of my occupation? And I didn't then, because I recognize that having more money, when I had more money, that I really felt like each month, I'm good. I'm good.
hmm,
You know, and matter of fact, I had more to put in the bank. I'm really not saying this to brag. I hope this is coming out right. I recognize that at some point for myself, there was nothing else I wanted. So I bought the computers I want. I had the car I already wanted. I already had the house I wanted. I wasn't going to get another house and all that. So I actually got to the point where money was coming in, but I really couldn't spend enough.
Mm.
And I saw the emptiness in it almost,
Yeah.
you know, because once I had what I wanted, what else did I want? I'm not one of those super flashy people that
Mm-hmm.
needs to get the Gucci and all that and all that.
Yeah.
So I had everything I wanted. And then it was like, well, now what then? So in a sense, I had gotten to the top
Mm-hmm.
for a little while.
Yeah.
And when I got to the top, it's not as glamorous as people think. And so sometimes we're looking and we're admiring someone else, and because they have this financially, but yet their lives are torn apart. And
Yeah.
so I think everything's about balance. We were talking about that earlier, balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You mentioned, we had a lot of love in our families, but something we didn't have was social media, where you could watch every day people throwing
Everyone
their
else.
lifestyle in your face and making you feel like you were less than, or you're a loser, or you're not doing something right if you don't have what I have.
Right, right.
And with the younger folks, even older folks, I think it's affected all of us, but um it's just like people are like living vicariously through other folks. Like I want that life. I want to be Castaneda streamers, and like the
Yeah,
young folks, like they want to be YouTubers and they want to be big in gaming and all these different things, and um, it they make it look so easy. They do it so effortlessly, and they just post one video and boom, they automatically get a million views within a
hmm,
couple of hours. Astronomical success, and when that's all you're putting before you all the time, that's what you start thinking like the standard is. But it's like, man, I've even been learning
yeah,
since I've
yeah.
been back doing things or posting again. It's like you don't even have to have a ton of subscribers to be able to make a decent living. You just gotta be smart. You gotta know where to go and who to talk to, so
There
that
you
you
go.
can make a living doing it.
Right.
But it puts pressure. We put undue pressure on ourselves trying to get what other people have. But
Mhm.
I guess the last thing I say about it is I used to be I used to be jealous when I would see older people driving around in Benzes and BMWs and stuff, taking life slow and just they out at breakfast in the middle of the day and stuff. And I'm like, man, how did they get that? But
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
realized that I may not be willing to pay the price that they paid to
Mm.
get what they have. So let me not envy people, because I may not be even willing to do what they did to get what they
Wow.
got. I can
Yeah,
only
yeah,
run my own race, stay in my lane, do what I need to do, use my gifts that I have.
yeah,
And what's
yeah,
for me will be for me.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
And that kind of takes me back to when I came out of the Navy. I started working at a restaurant, and our head chef, I saw his life. He was the first one there, last one to leave a lot of times. There on the weekends, was on call if something happened. Holidays. Not only him, but all of us pretty much had to work.
Mm.
If I don't know if you ever work in the kitchen, it's grueling work.
Mm.
And so I looked at his life and I said, is that what I want for me? Because I thought I wanted to be a head chef somewhere, own my own restaurant chain, do all that kind of stuff. But one of
Mhm.
the things I recognize is what you said. I'm not willing to pay that price.
Mm.
I didn't want to pay that price. And so you're exactly right. There are some people we don't even know the price they paid
Mhm.
to get where they are and what they have. And if the tables were turned, I've had great offers for lots of different things that I've had to say no to. I'm
Mm.
not willing to pay the price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But
man.
that comes with knowing yourself, though. I mean,
Mm.
that's experience now talking. That ain't.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it's easy to say now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just it's it's difficult to see when it's affecting so many young folks, though.
Hmm.
It's like people out here losing their minds doing anything, like no moral compass, no anything. I'm just gonna do whatever it takes the most
Mhm.
outrageous thing just to get some clout, just to get some attention. And
Mm.
part of it is that they they looking for validation. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
looking for validation, and um, they they're desperate for that attention. And it's
Mhm.
like the money and all that stuff. That's a good byproduct, but they want all of that so they can get more attention and feel like, okay, I'm finally worth something. Like
Mm.
they're putting their trying to find value in these things. And it reminds me of when I'm mentoring the boys that I mentor.
Mhm.
There's a chapter in the curriculum that I wrote called Your Personal Brand, and
Mm.
we make a
Mm.
comparison. I ask them like, what
Yeah.
are your favorite brands to wear? And a lot of times they say Nike. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, what is it about Nike that makes you want to wear it? And it's like, okay, well, it is affiliated with elite level athleticism. Your
Right.
favorite basketball players or athletes are doing this. It's just like it's a higher end type of
Mhm.
product. And I was like, okay, well, what is your brand? Like when you go into your classroom,
Mm. Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you a brand that people want to have around and they're proud to be in the presence of? Or are
Right.
you a bargain bin Walmart type of dude where don't nobody even want to see you? They
Yeah.
tolerate
Yeah.
your presence. You know, they don't welcome your presence. They just tolerate you being there. And if
Right.
you are honest with yourself and you figure out you're a bargain bin type of
Mm.
guy, how
Mm.
can we change that? You
Wow.
know, like the things you've been doing, acting out in class, being loud and disruptive, all outcries for attention, but it's a
Yeah.
better way that you can bring your brand up. You know, like you don't want people just tolerating you and stuff. But again, people are so zonked out, I guess,
Mhm.
and desperate for it that even if it's negative attention, they need it. You know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, let me go on to this third lie. And really, it's I can't let people see me struggle. I can't let people see me struggle. Um, this lie is the lie that where we wear that mask.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? How's it going? Oh, everything's great. Especially as men, if I might say black men,
Uh,
I'm Afro Latino black, but I'm black.
mhm. Yeah.
And what sometimes within our culture, within our communities, the macho machismo, you
Hmm.
man up.
Yeah.
Don't let them see you sweat. Don't and the men of like my father's age and beyond, they didn't show a lot of empathy, and
Hmm.
it wasn't a whole bunch of hugging and and all of that, and so they held a lot of things in. They were firm in a
Hmm.
lot of ways, and um I'm not that type. I'm gonna just say that right now. I am not
Hmm.
the one. I am one of the most transparent people you probably will ever know.
Yeah.
If you ask me something, I will tell you. People text me and ask me things, even some of my own subscribers, and we have conversations offline and stuff like that
Hmm.
that I will share. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't mind telling people that I'm struggling and I'm hurting if I have trust and confidence in that person. And I
Mm.
think that might be the key right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Not letting somebody see you struggle. It's like that pride gets in there. And again, I think just that element of social media, you see so many people faking it and showing their success all the time that if
Hmm.
you are doing bad or struggling in that season, then you feel like a failure, you know.
Mm.
And I before like I ain't gonna lie, man, I took an 8-month break. I had lost my job, or rather I had to walk away because of a situation. And I was just like, I don't like having my future in the hands of somebody that can basically sabotage me just
Right.
by a change of attitude. They just don't like me that day, and they can say something, and I'm done.
Hmm.
So I was unemployed for a little over a year, And during that time, man, I did some videos. I privated all those videos, but I was
Wow.
putting them on my ASMR channel, just like, man, I had an interview today. Like I was like showing my ups and downs. Like, man, I had a bad day. The job
Mm,
that they made me think I was about to get, they just pulled it from under me, or somebody just happened to come at the last minute and be a little
mm,
more qualified than I was. It was rough, man. And it was during this time that I was like, I'm quitting the channel. It wasn't even any joy in
wow.
recording or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that by being transparent, that it would help somebody. And it, I believe it did help somebody, and people gave some encouraging words, but low views, it almost seemed like, well, not seems like, I was getting ready to head in a different direction. I was like, man, I want to stop doing this. And I started
Hmm.
putting out some videos, throwing some hints. I even went as far as saying, all right, the channel won't be ASMR anymore.
Right.
Man, I lost subscribers so fast. I lost subscribers and stuff, man. And people were like, people leave it's not even a rude comment. They'd be like, well, I enjoyed the ride, but you're going
Right.
in a
Right.
different
Right.
direction. So
Yes.
have a good one. And I'm like, dang, man, I'm just trying to figure out what and some of it was just from my frustration,
Hmm.
it's like my
Hmm.
ASMR wasn't getting traction. These videos where I'm trying to be transparent are not getting any traction. It's like, so it was just bad all around, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't, month to month trying to figure out how I would make rent, pay the power bill and stuff. And even during that time, my water got turned off a couple times, power got turned off, but you know, my neighbor, he just randomly came over one day though,
Hmm.
shook my hand and gave me like $400.
Come on now.
And he was like, Brad, you're a good man. You got a
Hmm.
great family, and God told me to come and bless you.
Mm. All right.
And
Amen.
he did it. He did it like another 3 times throughout that
Wow.
time period. And I can honestly say we were struggling, but we had what we needed.
Yeah.
Even when things got turned off, it wasn't for a long time,
Right. Right.
whether it was my mother or somebody else helping me. We had what we needed, and it made me more grateful when I did get
Mm,
a job and everything. And during that time, though financially we were struggling, the relationship with my family went through the roof. It was like some of the
mm.
best times ever,
You guys bonded together and banded together in order to overcome the situation
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of doing the opposite. Amen. That's
yep.
awesome.
And I don't have a problem sharing that. Just like I'm okay with being transparent because it's a ton of people watching us that are struggling,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's why they take to us, because we are like it's like talking to a friend, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, man, it's just something about you that helps bring me peace.
There
Your
you go.
attitude on life, it just gives me
Yeah.
hope,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it's beneficial for us to share our struggles
Mhm.
because a lot of times people think they're the only ones struggling, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, 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 I'm I'm going through something right now,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it
I was
just
sharing something with you that I remember jumping into the ASMR, a few
mm,
years ago. Now, at first, I was feeling a little bit embarrassed to share.
hmm
You know, yeah, yeah, I'm on YouTube or something like that.
yeah,
I just yeah. And well, what do you do?
yeah. I be
Uh,
talking.
but it was because I don't think I understood what we had, what we
hmm
have in this community. I didn't understand. And
Yeah.
so I was still learning, even myself, the ASMR community, the people and all of that in the audience. And once I saw it, that it's really ministering to people.
hmm
It's just a different way and a different tool,
That's all. That's all.
and so you hit that nail on the head. It's like we're here for that purpose. I mean, that's what we're doing,
hmm
and I authentically, that's who I am. Like, this isn't something fake on this is who I am in real life. And so it's just another vehicle, another tool to be able to to share the gifts that God has placed in us, and just another avenue.
Yeah, I mean, I found ASMR through a struggle. You know,
Mm,
I was dealing with some things and I could not sleep, man. I'm talking, I just, I was so hurt and bothered by what had happened that I
mm,
really just could not sleep. And my daughter, she came to me and she was like, "Daddy, you should watch ASMR." I'm like, no, that's a little weird. But then I was sitting in the living room and I was on YouTube and I saw JoJo. And he was playing some cards and just whispering and teaching how he was doing his card tricks.
right.
And I was out like a light, man. I was out
Mm,
like a light. And when I woke up, I was just like, how did this even happen? Like, I'm thinking I need to take some sleeping pills. Nothing was working.
wow. Wow.
And from that point on, man, it's like I was looking forward to bedtime every night because I'm like, oh man, I'm about to get me some
Right.
pills in. I'm about to just drift off into
Right.
dreams,
Right.
man.
Right.
So, but after I got through that difficult time, I was like, I want to give back because it
Mm,
helped me so much, and I
right.
want to help other people. And
Nice.
that's what my channel was really born out of. I just wanted to help other people, and the
Wow.
community
That's
over here
powerful.
is it's amazing. I
It
look at
really
like the
is.
gaming community and the comment sections of other types of videos. Man, we get so much love over here. It's
Absolutely.
rarely anybody bugging out or saying anything crazy to us.
And if they do, we got an army of people
Yeah,
that will come to your defense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like I think it's the best community.
I think
I
so too.
really do. I think it's the best community. And when the people find you, they are down for you. You know.
It definitely is. And I've been through other communities also. Matter of fact, my channel is three different things.
Mm,
And I actually have some people that have followed me through the whole journey
yeah,
that are still here.
yeah,
Luckily
man.
because they like me, not necessarily ASMR,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but you're right. There's something different about the ASMR community, and
Hmm.
so my
And I would,
props to my peeps.
yeah, and I would say to people who are trying to start their channels and they got small numbers and everything.
Mm,
Imagine if you were in a room with that number of people. So say you got 100 folks. Imagine if you were sitting with 100 people. That's actually a good number. Like you got a good amount of
yeah,
people listening to you.
absolutely,
And
absolutely. Yeah,
so
that's a great point, man. We gotta sometimes we minimize what we should be maximizing,
hmm
and what I don't have, but do you appreciate what you do have?
yeah, yeah,
Are you appreciative of those 100 subscribers you have? Because
hmm
if you can appreciate them, you will you know what I mean? You can
yeah,
appreciate the largers and all that.
yep.
But
And
if you can't even appreciate that,
right, and they'll be your best ambassadors. They'll start sharing. I remember
absolutely.
some of my folks, they were going into other channels talking about, hey, Low Growl Legion over here, go to Low Growl channel. He got good stuff going on. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
did grow, slowly but surely. And and look at what's happening now. Like
Hmm.
I'm floored with the love I've been getting lately. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna ride this wave, like whatever's happening. The algo is just smiling on me. But like I remember watching when I was going through rough times, I remember watching your channel and I'm like, man, this guy got so many subscribers and he just does his role plays and stuff.
yeah.
And then I started noticing that, well, this individual is known for this thing. This person is known
Mhm.
for this thing. So what am I going to be known for? Well, the low growl voice. I know that's what it is. And
Yeah,
it really helped to focus me. And I
there you
think
go.
now that I'm focused on using this,
Yes.
is really carrying things now. And so many other people are seeing it. And it's like, man, I mean, I told you I did change my handle from Low Growl ASMR to Deepest Voice in ASMR. And I think
Yes,
that piques interest and makes people curious. And I think that helps some. But again,
absolutely.
now I just, because things turned around with my work situation and everything else, it's like now I'm happy when I'm recording videos. It's like all that comes through. And I just have a really good time in my
Absolutely.
cozy little zone. And man, it's just the struggle is a part of your story.
Absolutely.
So
I say
that's
that
what I
all the
want y'all
time,
to
man.
remember.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, the struggle is a part of your story.
Yes.
It's often the best part, because it's just like when you're going on a trip. It's the journey there, the pit stops, and the things you experience on your way to the destination. You know, once you get to the destination, it's like you actually reflect on everything you went through to get there. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is cool too, but man, we had fun on the way here. Those ups and
Mm,
downs, and just being able to reflect and take comfort in the fact that I pushed through. I didn't let anything stop me, and it just makes the victory that much sweeter. So the struggle, don't be ashamed to share your struggle, and don't be ashamed to embrace your struggle, because it's a part of the victory process.
yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. What is a lie that you think is prevalent in our society right now that people are holding on to?
I think a lot of people hold on to the lie that they are not meant to be successful. It's almost like it's like people settle,
Mm,
and they settle in the fact that this person is going to be successful and that person will be successful. But for me, I'm just going to have
wow.
like a regular life, you know? And that's why I think people are so addicted to social media, and looking at what other people have going on, because in their own life, it's almost like all the effort you're putting into watching other people live, you're not investing it in yourself and living yourself, you know?
Mm,
Um, and it just, you pedestalize people, and you put yourself in last place almost. It's like,
mm,
well, this
mm. I
person
like
is
that word,
successful.
pedestalize. Wow, I'm gonna have to use that one.
Yeah,
But I,
man. It's like
but I got it, man. Yeah,
we
yeah.
put people up in these high positions because of their success, not realizing that, well, they had to start at square one, just
Hello.
like I would, you
Exactly.
know, and by being consistent and putting in my best effort, you know, a little bit of trial and error, I can reach levels of success as well. You know, if you want to be known, you've
Hmm.
never had more ways to be known than we do today,
Come on, come
you
on.
know.
Yeah.
But again, some people, they don't want to pay the price for it. They'll just take the entertainment aspect of it and just be like, hey, I'm cool just doing my 9 to 5. But then you find yourself getting frustrated with your 9 to 5. And it's like, you know, that's always been a thing with me. When if I only have just my job happening, I
Hmm.
don't I don't have real peace, because I'm like, all my eggs are in this one basket. I need
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other avenues
yeah.
to have something else going on. But
That
so many
that's me.
people,
That's me exactly, bro.
yeah, yeah,
I've been like I think it's from that you know, growing up poor.
mm-hmm,
Growing up without. I'll put it like
yeah,
that. I don't think we were poor, but we didn't have what everyone else had. I'll just
yeah,
leave it like that. So
yeah,
there was always lack in our household.
always, always,
And so, we definitely don't for me it was um growing up a mindset. I won't stay here.
mm-hmm,
I've
yeah,
gotta succeed. I've gotta get past this society and I mean, my surroundings rather and all of that. And
mm-hmm,
and I wanted to be quote unquote successful.
yeah, yeah,
But I also learned, along the way, everything that glitters ain't gold, and everything that looks like
mm-hmm,
success isn't always success. And exactly what we were talking about earlier. And there's also a price to be paid. So some of these things that, you thought you wanted, you still have to ask yourself that same
mm-hmm,
question. Am I willing to pay that price?
yeah, yeah,
And then set some realistic things. I think what one of the things you were talking about is living beneath your potential,
mm,
because when you look inward, that you don't see the other person that's succeeding and doing well and posting the pictures of vacations. You don't see yourself as them, and that's a totally different world. So
yeah,
it's like you're just standing at the glass looking at everyone else do,
yeah,
but then you're missing out because you're only looking, at what someone else is doing.
Yeah,
rather than
it's like
putting in that work yourself.
yeah, it's like you're so far away from the success they have that you forget to even take steps. You know, you just
Mhm.
sit there in awe at what they've accomplished, but you don't realize that, hey man, one step at a time, one
Yeah,
video at a time, or whatever it might be,
yeah,
and don't
yeah,
cut corners. Like there's no secret sauce, there's no secret formula. It's like no, put in the work
yeah,
and be wise. You know, you want to be smart, but there are no shortcuts to success, you know, because if
yeah,
you do take
yeah.
shortcuts, they'll bite you later.
Absolutely. There
Yeah.
was, I can't remember who it was, but there was a boxer, and he was talking about that overnight success.
Mm,
You know, and he was talking about the fact that to some people it looked like overnight success, but what they didn't see is, the sacrifice of being in the gym,
yeah.
the years of no prize fight,
Hmm.
the years of people being looked over, the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people don't see the struggle that goes along all that, and then they see this relatively newcomer comes in, and but you didn't see the struggle before,
Hmm.
Even myself, all right, I've been in for a couple of years here. I expect to be bigger.
Hmm.
I expected to be bigger by this point,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And there were times where it was just like, it's not moving fast enough.
Mm,
Should I stop? Should I quit? And it didn't really truthfully take me long. And I think it's because of my background in YouTube as well. Like I said, I had so I'd seen a lot of patterns already in YouTube. I'd seen
mm,
different things and all that. And I had already achieved a level of success, before. So that is the fuel that I know it's here.
yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it's there. I just need to continue to put the work in,
Hmm.
and recognize that the space I'm in now is different than the other space, and so I just got to soul harder, different. And that goes back to what you were talking about earlier about finding your own unique angle.
Hmm.
I because of my background as my growing up rather, uh, when you were talking about not having a lot of stuff, and we didn't have a TV in our room, and so me and it was four of us, my sister and three guys,
Hmm.
and so we were all in the same room. The brothers were in the same room. She got her own room,
Hmm.
right? And so what we would do, there's no TV in there. We would tell stories.
Yeah.
And so we would listen, we'd be watching cartoons or doing a movie. We were really big into karate and things of that nature. So I would
Hmm.
be Kung Fu Theater
Yep. Oh
was my
man.
thing. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
preaching
so,
now.
and so, I mean, I would tell a story of Kung Fu Theater. You call me, you disrespect my, and,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you killed my sensei, and now I have revenge. And so I'm doing all these different,
Yeah.
but I'm putting stories together. Who would know that later? Fast forward, that
Hmm.
my love for storytelling and for stories and all that, but now I could use that
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
and so I can actually see um, kind of where all that came from, and
Yeah.
now I enjoy it. I enjoy
Mhm.
creating because it's creative. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
going out there and bringing something to life. I bring
Mhm.
characters to life, bring scenarios to life, and just sometimes the craziest thoughts in my head, I can now put it on the canvas of video.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah. And most people will not. Most people will not take that step. They can be the most creative, most talented person, but because of the video or being too self-conscious and things, they won't even take the first step. And it's like they could be one decision away from changing the whole trajectory of their lives, but
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
believe in
yeah,
themselves enough to just
yeah,
take that first step, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And it's
L-
pretty
l-
sad, man.
Listen, I think to that point, what's the worst that could happen? I think sometimes we
Yeah.
have to tell ourselves that.
Yeah,
What's the
definitely.
worst that could happen? If I go in and ask for a raise, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
The worst they say, no, we don't have it in the budget.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Release the money, huh?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that could happen? I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting. What's the worst that could happen if you just started?
Mm-hmm.
If you just open the channel? If you just, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things, man. It's like I don't want to get towards the end of my life and have a bunch of regrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I want to try everything that I like, all my ideas and stuff like that. I want to put it out
Yeah.
there at some point just to see, because you just never know, man. It's just
Man,
you
I,
never
I
know
believe in
what.
speaking stuff into existence, man.
Yeah.
I really do believe in that. I believe
Mm-hmm.
in, having that positive mindset,
Yeah.
the I can do it mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can't do it, I can find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Look at, like you said, we got so many resources available to us. You got Google, and now beyond Google, you got AI, you got Chat GPT,
Mm-hmm.
you got so many tools at our disposal right
Yeah.
now. And it seems like almost the more information we get, the dumber we get. The
Yeah.
more tools that are put at our
Yeah.
the less we use them.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
Right. It's like, man, it's like pick your tool and maximize, like master how to use that tool. Like every tool is an opportunity, especially Chat GPT. Like, man, you got to be careful with that, because you'll get so reliant on it. Like if you write and things like that,
Oh yeah, yeah. You
you can
can't
get
you
so,
can't just copy. It's not copy and paste, yo.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
You still got
copy
to
and paste.
put your flavor on that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
but I think one thing that a lot of people are lacking is they didn't have anybody speaking into their lives
Mm,
to plant those seeds of confidence and speaking to their potential and things like that. It's like I was lucky enough to have, even though my dad wasn't there, to have just different men throughout the church, like in my youth pastor, and even teachers. Like I still remember all my male teachers that spoke
mm,
into my life and saw potential in me. And those were the things that um, I guess undergirded that inner belief that I had that I was meant to do something greater.
mhm.
And it's a drive that I have that even other people in my family don't have. I try to encourage other people in my family to, hey, yeah, start your channel, do your thing. Hey man, I help you however I can.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they don't. And I'm just like, well, I can't wait for anybody else, man. I got to do what I'm gonna do.
No, I hear you.
And
I hear you. I've had that same, yeah, many, 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 many times.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I will say to our viewers right now, hey, you can do it.
You can. Yeah,
We are
there's.
proof positive that if you just apply yourself, there's an audience out there waiting for you. And it doesn't just have to be a channel. You can
Mhm.
have a product. You can create something. Solve a
Absolutely.
problem, make life easier
Absolutely.
for somebody, and people will willingly give you their money,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is that you are producing. But if nobody else has sown any types of seeds of encouragement in your life, we're here to tell you, you can do it. You're capable. You're smart enough. We got all kinds of resources available to us, and don't be afraid to reach out to us personally. Like
Yeah.
put something in the comment section, or however you want to get in touch. And we are not beyond helping others. I think that's really a part of who we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of men we are. We just want to see people succeed.
I agree completely. I agree completely. So
Mm.
that's awesome. Um, I remember there was a time growing up where I thought so less of myself. I was one of those kids that like I didn't grow up in the same environment. We moved around a lot. We were
Mhm.
always the new kids. We like I shared already, my parents divorced. We stayed with, kind of went back and forth from mom and dad, and didn't always have the best of things.
Mm.
And not only that, I don't we didn't we were always new. And I don't know if growing up, when you're new, you're odd.
Absolutely.
You get special attention when
Yeah.
you're new. Especially among people we moved into areas where, all the kids, they grew up with each other, they all knew each other. And then we walk
Mm-hmm.
in. That created a lot of problems for me because I was a little chubby. I had thick glasses. And my hair wasn't always kept right. We didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the fashionable clothes and all those kind of things. And so I became a target.
Yeah.
A bully magnet. Matter of fact, I called myself because whenever I moved into, for some reason, they gravitated toward me.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
biggest, baddest wanted a piece of me until he got to know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, excuse me, until I got to know myself.
Yeah.
Because I had to something within just came forth. That's another story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but I say that because growing up, I thought less of myself. Like the person I am today, and I'm confident. I believe in myself. I'm having an achiever's mindset. Like I can do, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, and even when there's setbacks, it's like, all right, what's next? How do we overcome this? Not,
Mm-hmm.
let's wallow in the mire, in the mud
Yeah.
and all. And so, but growing up, that was not me at all, at all. I thought I was going to end up a failure. I didn't see the potential within myself. I thought I was dumb. And I remember when we moved from upstate New York to Delaware,
Mm-hmm.
and moving from there, they put me into some lower classes because I didn't do well in New York when I was in upstate New York. And so they put us, like in less than college prep, not the
Mm-hmm.
special education class or anything like
Yeah.
that, but it wasn't the college prep classes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then for the first time, I like aced everything. Like, and then I couldn't believe myself. It was like, well, how did you made honor roll? I've never made honor roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't make honor roll. You don't make honor roll. Like, you know who you are, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And then, so the next year or so, and this was my freshman year of high school. My sophomore year, they said, well, we can't put you in those same classes. You're beyond those classes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put you in now college prep classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what? You're going to put me in these college prep classes? Says, no. Do you know who I am? I was saying to myself, am I ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take those classes, and then I'm making honor on those classes.
Yeah.
And there was something, it was like my confidence just starting to build. And I go, oh, okay, you're not what everyone says you are, or
Mm-hmm.
what you thought you were, or God is showing you someone else. And sometimes you don't discover yourself. It takes a while
Yeah.
to discover that man,
Yeah.
that who you are today. It takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like we don't, that's why, I don't judge a person's journey.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they strive and upward and all that, then
Yeah.
that's what we ought to be doing. We want to encourage each other
Mm-hmm.
to do those type of things. But, we're all at different places
Yeah. Yeah.
in that journey.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, man. And that's that's the thing. It's like so many people are in that stage. Like, how do you know what percentage of your audience is male versus female?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know I have more males than females.
Yeah, I got like 90. I would say 90. I think it's 95% males and like 5% females. So that affects the kind of content I create.
Yeah.
And it just made me think, like what you were just talking about. There are guys trying to figure out who they are,
Yeah.
and they gravitate to what we do, not necessarily because they are looking for a mentor or anything like that, but I do think they're looking for varied perspectives on life, and those that really like all those people that have subscribed to us, that listen to us consistently, it's like I found a guy that I'm getting something from. You know,
Right.
it's like I leave here feeling motivated, or I feel relaxed, or I feel at peace. Whatever it is, we're fulfilling some type of need. You
Right.
know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that's why it's important that we, do things like this, because one, they get to see a different side of us.
Hmm.
Not just the ASMR side, but just like, look, we can identify where you are. We've
Right.
been there.
We real people,
Yeah,
we
yeah, and it
absolutely.
helps them connect with us even more. So, I mean, I think this can be a very powerful video if the people watch it. I think initially a lot of folks will watch this. I think we'll get some good results from it, man, and I think some folks will take some inspiration from it, and
Hmm.
that's really what it's all about, man. Just helping them to get over their own inadequacies and their own questionings of themselves and their abilities and things, because I went through like some of the same stuff as far as confidence. My voice changed like this when I was 13, right?
What?
And
No way.
I
13 years
promise
old.
you, I
Wow.
promise you. But we didn't have any type of social media, anything. So I mean, it just benefited me when it came to like talking to girls and stuff. And it was just unique hearing a young guy sound like
Casanova.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Casanova.
So people would like the guys where they would try to like impersonate me, and they would ask me to talk like Mufasa and all these different types of things. But
Yeah.
I think God allowed my voice to change so early because he wanted to show me that I did have something unique to
Mm,
offer. It
right.
almost it's almost like it was God's way of getting my attention. Like, look,
Right.
I put something in you that don't many people have,
Mm,
or something unique to you. Because I went through getting teased, and some of the worst teasing I got actually came from my family, man.
mm, yeah.
Man, I remember going down to Alabama for the first time, and it's like when we got down there, man, it's like my brothers, it's like they almost just turned on me, and I became the butt of all the jokes, and
Mm,
by them joking on me, they opened the door for these new cousins to joke on me.
right. Right.
So I'm
Right.
down there feeling completely alone. I'm crying and stuff. I just wanted to go back home, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like I felt betrayed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, even through that, I'm just kind of like, it's giving me an ability to be empathetic towards people. When they're
Hmm.
dealing with bullying and being made fun of because you're different and all that kind of stuff like that, man. And it's just the voice just helped me. It was always like a reminder that, Brad, you got something unique about you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got a unique gift inside of you, and just don't give up.
There you go. There
And
you go.
eventually it came to a point that when I got older, suddenly people, they value my opinion so much, and they always wanted me around at the cookouts. Where Brad at? Where Brad
Hmm. Hmm.
at? Everybody want to have like a one-on-one conversation and talk to me about their goals and dreams and things they're dealing with and stuff. And I'm just
There you
like,
go.
this is completely opposite of how y'all treated me. Y'all literally said I was weird.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? Y'all
Right.
thought I was strange. And but now through all of that, I have that empathy to talk to them, and I'm telling you, I'm big on encouraging people, man.
Yes.
When I was considering getting rid of the ASMR channel, that's what I was going to turn into, a channel where I was just encouraging people and like having just like little checkups and just trying to engage folks and push
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
more and chase their dreams and goals and
I,
things.
I, I had a YouTube channel called Christian Motivations.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
well, and a blog doing
Hmm.
the same thing. So yeah, we got a lot of similarities. A lot of
Yeah,
similarities. Yeah.
man. And
But
that's
that's what it's about, man. And I think it's rooted from our own trauma and us trying to overcome.
hmm
I mean, there's still stuff. I mean, I'll speak for myself. There's still stuff I'm trying to overcome.
yeah.
And so, but there's a lot that I have overcome. I've been able to do a lot of things in life that have impressed me.
Mm.
That I can look and say, and usually it's not stuff vain on me. It's because I've blessed somebody else, and that's the key to a lot of it.
Mhm.
When it's like a product, they say, if you want to be rich on a product, find something that solves a problem,
Mhm.
and then solves a solution, or something like that. If
Yeah.
you're in the giving and in the serving realm, eventually there's blessings that come back to you in a lot of
Mhm.
different ways. It's not always financial, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of great blessings that always come back.
Mhm.
But you also, how do I put this? You can also be the because when you love a lot, you also get hurt a lot. You also
Yeah.
get hurt a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
You
just
won't.
comes with it. It comes with the territory.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
just
man.
we just keep doing the good. Well,
Yes.
good. Uh-oh, that was a little loud right there. This has been a good conversation, and I
Yeah.
hope that in the future we can do something similar.
Mhm.
Obviously, it will depend upon a few factors.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. I think these are the type of videos that at least for myself, I don't put up to get a whole bunch of traction.
Mhm.
I know they're not a lot of times the biggest videos on my channel, at least,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they serve a good purpose, and
Mhm.
I think it's been first of all a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better. Uh,
Yes, sir.
and to get to know your channel, Low Growl ASMR channel. If you do not know the deepest voice in ASMR, and you've not been to his channel yet, please, Low Growl ASMR. I will be posting him in my description, links to his channel.
I'll be doing the
Hope,
same.
amen, amen. And
Yeah.
so I encourage you to go to him and to check him out.
Yeah.
And if you don't know me, you come
Yeah.
check this Pepper as well.
Yeah. Low Growl Legion. Y'all hear me now. Y'all head on over to Peppered ASMR, man. He got some excellent role plays going on. It's just a good time, some good vibes over there and everything. And I'll put the link in the description for his channel as well.
All right, amen. Well, it's been wonderful. Great talking with you. I look
Yeah, man.
forward to doing this again in the future.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
all right. Be blessed, everyone. You have a great one, and happy. What's this? Mental Health Awareness Month. We're closing it out strong. Uh,
Mm,
I waited to the last minute. So this was on me. I
mm,
waited to the last minute, and so but I'm thankful that we have something to contribute to this month, to the very most important topic and a theme for this month. And so
mm.
may God bless you, be with you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.